Hi everyone, so we recorded slightly differently this week, our Pilates session, just because it's easier to hear me this way. It's quite impossible to record in a busy household, and unless I go to work, it's impossible to do. So today's video is still on our principles, which is our concentration and control of movement. We're still going to put all principles together in this session. I'm going to start off with our warm-up first of all. So we did full body mobilization by ensuring that I went into a lunge with a heel lift, and I did that for 10 on each leg. I then also went for a knee lift, bringing my legs up because I wanted to mobilize my hip. And this class is going to be doing standing into lying into tabletop position. And I go into all fours as well. So going back to that lunge again, doing that heel lift for 10, and then going to go straight into the knee lift for some flow between movements. Okay, going into adduction of the hip, so we're opening up the hip joint by lifting our leg out to the side, doing some adduction of the hip for 10 on each leg. Next one is to go for a squat. So we're going to be opening up the hip and the knee joint at the same time. So this is a multi-joint movement, making sure that we push the bum back, and then going into a squat with a bow and arrow, and that will open up the shoulder blades, opening up that elbow joint. Again, a multifunctional movement. Finally, doing some rotational twists, so doing around about 10 rotational twists, keeping those hips facing forward and rotating at the torso. So, going to start with the first cycle of exercises today. Ensure that we focus on our centering before we get started, so pelvic floor and abdominal engagement. First exercise is a standard lunge. Notice how my knee is in line with my hip joint, and I'm going down for a standard lunge. Now I do move my hands up and do arm floats with my hands, but you don't need to do this. It is just something that helps with my balance in this movement. Okay, onto the same leg, and we're going to do a knee lift with a kick back. So this might be something that you need to hold on to because to make sure that you've got your balance correct. But if you are working on your centering process, it is something that really helps to keep your balance further. So knee goes straight up, then it kicks back again. Okay, so we're going to kick it up and then kick and back again. Notice again how my knee always stays in line with my hip joint. Then going for rotational circles, so we're going to go clockwise firstly, and turn to the side so you can see your better form. And the next movement we're going to be doing is anti-clockwise, a leg circle. Hold on to something if you need to. I again need to try and usually move my arms, which again isn't really going with my, it doesn't work with my posture, but it's something that I really struggle with. So, okay, changing on to the opposite leg, so going for that lunge to begin with on the opposite leg. And you can see which side's the weaker side. Again, my knee's not really in line with my hip on this side. It's one of the sides that I struggle with. Again, you're making sure that the front knee doesn't go past your toe, that your torso is upright, and you're going down for your lunge. Second side is that leg lift, so leg goes up and then kick and back. Hold on to something if you need to. Try and always keep that knee in line with the ankle joint until you go backwards, and then it should be in line with the hip. I added an extra movement here with hip adduction. You don't have to do this movement. I think I kind of forgot which movements I was doing. My card was well out the way with what movements I was doing. I had them written down. So please excuse this movement. go straight onto your leg circles, which was your clockwise and anti-clockwise movements. So after you've done this, you can repeat it up to 3 times. Pause the video now to do that. The next movements are into an all fours position. So we are going to go for leg kickbacks. You're bringing your leg up and down, making sure that when you're in the all fours position that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Then going straight into adduction of the leg, making sure that you keep your hips still and try and keep it in line with your hip joint. We're doing 10 of each movement before we move on to the second movement. So legs up and down, and going straight into adduction once you've done the legs up and down. Just a note, when you're in the all fours position, you should have a flat back. You shouldn't be going any rounding of the spine at all, and your body should be in alignment. We're going to roll down onto our back, and we're going to go into tabletop position. And you'll notice that my knees are directly above my hips. I have got a neutral spine, so my spine, I imprint it, which reduces the lumbar curve, but it isn't completely flat. And I'm going for toe taps in this movement. So toe taps down. And the next one, I'm bringing my legs up and then coming out. So this is one that really works our core. So we go up into the air and then straight back out again. Things that you need to be aware of with this is your lumbar curve. So that lumbar thing in your spine, I'm pointing at it now. If this increases, then the movement isn't working for you and you need to place one of your feet down. You do not have enough core stability. We've talked about centering in the previous video, so if you're not quite sure what centering is, please go back and have a little look, or check out the core stability, what is core stability video. I'm going to put a pause card in now. You can repeat these up to 3 times, or you can just do them once if you just want a simple workout. We've got the all fours and the tabletop lie-in, and then I'm going straight into our stretches. So sitting in the straddle position, go for a hamstring stretch. Hold each stretch between 7 and 15 seconds, reaching down to your toes so you can feel them in the back of your leg. Next one is a quad stretch, bringing your leg behind you, knees together, hips facing forward. You should feel that in the front of your thighs, and that is giving you a quad stretch. Going on to the opposite side, because you do need to do both legs. So very simple stretch on this this session. It hasn't been a hardcore session in any way. It was more about moving the moves together and giving you a nice workout that's different. Okay, so we're going to go for a shoulder stretch, leaning over the body, hand over to the body. My legs are in straddle position as I do this. Hold each stretch for as long as you need to, and then finally finishing off with a rounding of the spine, chin towards my chest, big C shape of the spine.